Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited that you have joined us and that you are a little curious about coaching. So we are going to keep this quick and painless, but yet give you a lot of information at the same time. So my name is Stacy Dasher, and out of the four of us, I think I've been coaching the longest. I've been coaching 3.5 years. We have Amy Balco, who's coaching 2 years, Amy Wells, coaching 2 years as well, and Danielle Plona, coaching 2 years also. None of us would have ever known each other. I don't think so. At least I would not have known any of these women if it was not for coaching. And each and every one of them, it has been a blessing in my life. I've learned from each one of them. And this is just the touch of the iceberg as to the women and the community that you can be a part of with coaching. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we do as coaches. People think that we are into sales. You know what? We do not sell things, we share things, okay? We are role models. We live by example. We share our own experiences based on how we go through any particular workout program or meal plan, and we invite others to do it with us. It is exactly the same thing as if you went to a restaurant and you had a great meal. Wouldn't you want to share it with your friends or your family and say, hey, I went to this place, I had a great meal, I had amazing service, you have to try it. That's exactly what we do as coaches. We share our experiences with Beachbody products, and we want you to feel the same energy, the same confidence, the same personal growth that we have all been fortunate enough to experience throughout the past few years. So a huge, I want to say hesitation, we get sometimes from many women. There's a lot of misconceptions about coaching. There's a lot of information. All you have to do is Google, and you're going to get hundreds of thousands of different opinions about what Team Beachbody really is. So we're here to explain to you 4 different women coming from 4 different places what we feel Team Beachbody is. So I would like to start this off by introducing Danielle Plona again. I'd love for you to tell a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to talk about some hesitations that you had.
All right, I'm first. I didn't know I was first. That's cool. I'm used to being first. My last name always started with A, so my teachers always put me in the first. I was always in front of the line. But not anymore. My name is Danielle Plona. I'm a mom of 3. Very busy, active kids. They're involved in a lot of sports and a lot of activities. I'm a wife. I have 2 dogs. I have a part-time job other than this coaching. So I was also on the Board of Education. I served for 2 terms. So like, I'm pretty much the definition of busy, right? And I know there's someone always busier. You can always find someone busier, but I'm pretty busy. So I jumped into a challenge group. I found Beachbody through one of my high school friends who looked amazing and was posting about how great she felt and how she can help people. And I trusted her. I knew her from high school. I reached out to her, jumped into one of her challenge groups, but I'm like, listen, I want to do this, but I have no time. Like, that was my excuse. I have no time to work out. I don't know if I can do this. So I just jumped in. I tried it for the month. I started with the Shakeology, and I lost, I think, like 8 pounds the first month. And then I thought, well, maybe it's time to throw some exercise in. So she's like, all right, you can get a challenge pack. She explained to me what that was. I thought, great. I looked at all of them, and at the time, they were just the DVDs. Of course, now it's all online streaming, and you can get access to every single program. But back then, you had to pick one. So I picked, and don't laugh, I picked 10-minute trainer because I had no time. And I thought, well, I can do that, right? So I chose 10-minute trainer, and I think I did it twice. Like, I did 2 workouts. And I'm like, all right, I have 10 minutes. I think I can do a little bit more. And then I jumped in with PiYo, fully committed to the program, printed it off. and stuck with it. Loved it. Ended up losing over 20 pounds. But so I had like a total like body transformation. People were noticing, but what they noticed more was my like newfound confidence and happiness. So how I got into coaching, well, I loved the programs. So my coach was telling me that I would make an awesome coach. And I thought, no, like I just don't have time. I just didn't think so. And I didn't think I wanted to do it either. Like I thought that there was a catch. I thought that if I joined as a coach, I would have to run challenge groups. I thought that I would be locked into something, like maybe financially, or there was some sort of catch. Like I didn't fully trust it. And it was weird because I trusted her. I did, but I just always thought, it's all right. I don't want to like sign up. Like that word was scary, right? So I just kept saying no. She kept telling me that I could do it just for a discount on the shakes that I loved. And I still said no. I still just thought there was something, right? And then I think after 6 months of saying no, just to even getting the discount, she called me and she was like, listen, you are sending me, your aunt is in our challenge group, your neighbor's in our challenge group, your neighbor at the beach is at our challenge group, your sister's in the challenge group. She goes, do you realize, like, if you be the coach, you don't have to run the challenge group. These can be your people. Your shakes can be paid for. You can make a little bit extra money, and I thought, all right, fine, sign me up. She explained everything. I realized there was really like no scary thing involved. I think I questioned her, are you sure there's no, like, I don't have to sell anything? I was afraid I was going to have to sell stuff to people monthly. You do not. That's the beauty of this, is that you can do like sign up to be a coach, and you can at the very least get a discount on the shakes in your products and do nothing. You can do it as a hobby. You can make enough to buy your gas, maybe cover a car payment. If you want to go further, you can cover your mortgage. You can end up leaving your full-time, part-time or full-time job and making this your full-time job. And that's the beauty of it, is that you can take this as slow or fast as you want, and you can do with it what you want. So also, when I told my husband I was joining as a coach, he was like, is that one of those like pyramid things, like schemes? And I'm like, no, because I hear that sometimes from people, and I just like to tell it like it is. Okay. Some people do think that, and some people do ask. Pyramid schemes are illegal. So let's just say that if this was a pyramid scheme, we'd all be in jail right now. And pyramid schemes are when the person at the top makes the most money and everyone else does not. This is a business opportunity. It's multi-level marketing, and it's a legit, fair and legal opportunity, and it is what you make out of it. So for example, if I put into it more than somebody else who joined as a coach 7 years ago, I can be making more than them. It just is what you put into it. So I didn't realize, though, when I joined as a coach, I did join for the discount only. I started actively coaching about 6 months after that. So it took me like a full year to really start actively coaching. When I realized how this can change people's lives, like I started bringing a lot of my friends into the group, and it just completely transformed their confidence, their happiness. And I saw how much happier they were. And I just wanted to be able at that point to be able to reach more people. So that's why I started actively coaching. So
I think also people always think they're going to be locked into something.
Yeah.
When they sign up, well, if I sign up as a coach, oh no, am I going to be locked in? Is there a contract? Is there a certain amount of time? And that also is, no, there's not. You can, if you decide it's not for you, then it's not for you, and you say goodbye, and it's a clean cut. There is no specific amount of time that you need to be on board. And like Danielle said, you can make, you can pay for gas, you can make a car payment, you can pay for mortgage. It is the due diligence of each person and what they want to do with it. And there's many, many women who just do this as a side gig. Maybe they want to pay for some dance classes for their daughter. Those are not cheap. Gymnastics, things like that. So I thank you.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing that's really important? I just thought of it. To be a coach, you can be, I don't want to say any age because I'm sure you have to be 18, but there are people need coaches of all ages. There are coaches in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. There's a coach in one of our groups that's in her 70s. So everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs to get healthy. Everybody needs health and wellness. So you can be any age to do this because there's all sorts of different people that need you.
So true. So true. I think that there's like different strokes for different folks. And that is why there's so many different types of coaches. Okay, so we are going to move on because we don't want to keep you. And I wanted to introduce once again Amy Balco. She's going to tell you a little bit about herself. She's going to talk about the income, the compensation, the fun stuff, the trips, the monthly prizes, and even tax breaks because it's that time of year, isn't it? So go ahead, Amy.
Thank you, Stacy. Okay, so guys, when I'm nervous, I pull on my hair and it does weird things like this, and then I talk too fast. So I'm really sorry if any of that happens because this means a lot to me. So I get very nervous when I speak to people. But my name is Amy Balco. I am a mom to 2 girls, which I'll get into that in a minute, but that's one of the reasons I became a coach is for them. And I used to, in a past life, work in corporate America for a cellular giant. And it was just too much. When we had our second child, I was working 60 hours a week, and I had 7 retail stores. 6 were in a different state. So if something happened with one of my kids, I could be 2.5 hours away with no way to get home. And just wasn't the life that I envisioned myself living. I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I think it's a true gift to be able to do that. And my husband and I worked really hard so that we could make that happen. So I stayed home after having child number 2, but I had gained 40 pounds in the 8 years that I worked in corporate America because, like most women, I thought that my job was to take care of everybody else. Not only my husband and my 1 child at that time, but also my 148 employees. And I never put myself first. And thank you very much, everybody, 40 pounds later, right? So I decided I had to lose the weight. After I had Abby, who's our little one, the weight needed to come off. So the only thing I knew how to do was run. So I started running. And apparently, if you are overweight by 40 pounds and decide to train like you're running in a marathon next week, you're going to get hurt. And that's exactly what happened to me. So I went to the podiatrist because my foot was what I hurt. Immediately he said, I'm going to give you a cortisone shot and get you scheduled for surgery. And I said, no, you're not. I'm not doing either of those things. Please let me try PT first. Long story short, I worked really hard. I got the green light after I'm going to say 9 weeks of PT, 3 times a week. And he didn't think I'd be able to recover, but I can work hard. And I did because I didn't want surgery. But the problem was still there. I needed to lose the weight. So I'm looking on Facebook and, as a lot of new moms do when they're up nursing at night or whatever. And one of my friends from high school was posting about 22-minute workouts. Now, Danielle mentioned it before. We are busy. I don't think there is any mom anywhere on the planet who is not busy. And I said to myself, well, I don't have anything to lose. I'm up 40 pounds. I need to get rid of that. And I'm pretty sure I can find 22 minutes in a day. Maybe I'll just stop scrolling Facebook for 22 minutes a day and try it. Guys, I fell in love with it. I lost 28 pounds in the first 2 rounds of the program. And the shakes made me feel better than I've ever felt. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. I was one of those disbelievers in the shakes. It came with my challenge pack. I drank them all for a month, and I was like, I'm going to find something cheaper. This is expensive. There's nothing on the planet that will give you what our shakes give you and do what our shakes do for your body at that price point. So It's been 2 years. I have been drinking my shakes religiously. My husband drinks them. My kids drink our kid version of the shakes, and I have never looked back. So that's a little bit about me. And I don't know how I got the super fun job of talking about all the perks and the money, but I'm really pretty pumped to talk to you guys about that, because this is a business, right? You put your time into this, you put your effort into this, your blood, your sweat, your tears, sometimes time away from your family, because guys, with businesses that you want to be successful, take sacrifice sometimes. Not a lot, but maybe a little bit. So you want to get paid for that. You want to get compensated. Now, Beachbody, disclaimer. Something along the lines of, you're not guaranteed any money. If you don't work for it, don't expect it and don't cry about it. Okay. So there's 2 different ways that you can make money with Beachbody as a coach. One is by commission. You get commission on any products that you sell. But the best way is by growing your team and teaching them how to do what you love. Because guys, when you do this, you fall in love with it, because you get messages from women saying, because of you, my life has changed. And really, it's not because of me or Danielle or Stacy or Amy. It's because we gave them the tools and we supported them, and they changed their own life. And it's a beautiful thing. And you can't help but fall in love with that feeling. So growing your team, teaching them how to help other people as well, and falling in love with that. That's where the secret sauce is. That's where the money is. So those are the 2 ways that you make money. But because this is a great company who puts so much thought and so much effort into everything they do, they make sure that we are compensated, not just financially, but with other things as well. So every month, guys, if you help just 3 people change their lives, that's it, just 3, right? You get a prize. So my prize for December was, I get this super cool tank and a yoga mat, which is awesome. My prize for January, which actually I think is tomorrow, I have a webinar coming up with Mel Robbins, who wrote the 5-second rule, is super motivational, super smart. I'm super stoked. But those little perks as well are pretty awesome. And that's something that you get every month in addition to your paycheck, which we do get paid weekly too, by the way. And I'm sure you guys don't want to hear about the vacations that you can earn or the trips that you can go on. So I'll just skip that part. No? Okay. So I've been a coach going on 2 years. It'll be 2 years in July. So I've earned a trip to Mexico at the end of April. I've earned a trip to the Bahamas, or I will. I'm already registered for it next year. I went to New Orleans last year. I have traveled around the state and met people and seen places I never would have seen because of this opportunity. So if you're someone who likes to travel, Danielle did you tell everybody that you just got back from California? She didn't even tell everybody this. Danielle earned a spot in an exclusive upcoming leader retreat because of the hard work that she puts in and because of the passion she has for her business and for helping others. She just went to California, y'all. That's it, you know. So you get to see all kinds of different amazing, awesome things. When I went to New Orleans last year, it was for our annual big meeting. And it's a big meeting. There was 30,000 people there. But this business has also given me the opportunity to do my business thing and then fly down my husband, my kids, and my parents, because none of them had ever been to New Orleans. And we spent the whole week after my business meeting down there exploring, and it was so awesome. And I don't know if my parents ever would have gotten to do that if I hadn't said yes to this. So there's all kinds of perks with stuff like that. My next thing, I get really excited about this. If you are someone who wants to be in the know and wants to be the first, we get to be the first for everything. We get to find out about new programs first. Right now, there's a new program called 80-Day Obsession, and we are the first group of coaches ever to be in a coach test group with Autumn Calabrese, who you may have heard of her. She created the 21-Day Fix, 21-Day Fix Extreme, Hammer and Chisel, Country Heat. She also created 80-Day Obsession and the program that goes with it called A Little Obsessed. But we are in an actual test group with her because we're Beachbody coaches. It's pretty awesome. She goes live every day. We get to see her. We get to talk to her. But any programs that come out, we get the first look. We get the first dibs. Now, when I worked in the cellular field, if a new phone came out, you know what they said to us? Sorry, you're going to have to wait until everybody else already has it. Oh, well, that's great. I'm glad that we can show everybody how to use their brand new phone because we don't have it. That's not the case here. We get the first look and the first glimpse into everything so that we can be in the best position to help all of our clients get the best results that they can from each program, which is pretty awesome.
I wanted to ask you, since it's that time of year, tell us about taxes.
This is where I was going. You guys, when I get on a roll, I told you I talk a lot and I go really fast. I'm very sorry, but it is tax season and I'm not an accountant. That just underlined, highlighted, I am not an accountant, but there are a ton of tax breaks that my accountant allows me to make. I write off my Shakeology every month because this is a business for me. So guys, think about this. I'm getting commission from helping people live healthier lives, which pays for my Shakeology, and then I'm able to write it off as well. I write off my business fees. I write off new workout clothes, new sneakers. I write off business dinners, business expenses. I write off trips to New Orleans, the food while I'm there. I write off a part of my cell phone bill because this is a very much mobile business every month for the whole year. Because it's also a home-based business for me, I don't have an office space. My home is my office. I'm able to write off a part of my electric bill, a part of my cable and internet bill, a part of my gas bill. Like, it's pretty sick. And of course, get approval from your accountant, get everything, you know, in receipt form, but there's a huge benefit to the tax part of this. Now, if you're a discount coach, meaning you sign up just for the discount on the products, I don't believe you can claim these tax breaks. This is only for people who are actually helping people, but again, not an accountant, so maybe they would let you do that. So I'm very excited about that. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was, we talked about discount coaches a lot. You guys, if you sign up to be a coach for nothing other than the discount, first off, you'll be in the best shape of your life, because you're going to hold yourself accountable. Second off, you'll never have felt better, but you also get 25% off of all of our products, which is pretty awesome, and you can't go wrong. So as you can all tell, I'm very passionate about this business. I love what it has done for me and my family. I mentioned at the beginning I was going to talk about my 2 kids. It's a huge driving factor for me, because my 2 girls are going to grow up with a positive body image. They're going to grow up seeing how to take care of themselves. They're going to grow up seeing that their mom worked really hard to have a business and stay home with them. And there's a million reasons that I do this, but they are a huge, huge one. And for all of those things, I mean, if you have kids, you can't go wrong by setting an example by doing this.
That's
all I got.
Thank you so much. That was so helpful. Well, next we're going to move on to Amy Wells. We have, what's the likelihood 50% of us out of us 4 is named Amy? So 2 out of 4. So this is Amy Wells, and she's also, in July will be 2 years. She's been a coach, and she's here to talk about what her expectations were when she initially signed up, why she signed up, and what she found by doing so. Go ahead.
Hey, okay. Am I talking about the community or am I talking about expectations? Community?
Well, what did you expect? And then, yes, because I think a big thing that you got out of it was community.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. So hi, my name is Amy. Just a little bit about myself. So I have been coaching for almost 2 years. I live up in the mountains in Colorado. I have a husband and I have 2 young boys under the age of 8. I work full-time as a school counselor, and then I also do coaching in every single mom practice that I can possibly find. For me, I had a friend in high school that I didn't know very well that was posting a lot about the coaching opportunity and posting a lot about, you know, getting fit and healthy, and she was just looking great and was in a really rough spot in my life. I just had my second kid, and I was feeling completely overweight and just emotional from having a second baby. And where we live up in the mountains, we're super isolated. Like, we live like super far away from everybody. It's not super, super far, but when you're alone by yourself with 2 young kids and your husband's working night shifts, I felt completely isolated. And I've been watching her on social media for a little bit, and I was like, you know, I don't know what she's doing, but she looks great. Like, she seems super healthy and happy. And I didn't know her super well, but I knew her well enough to know that, like, I trusted her. And you know, I was like, oh, these challenge groups, like Shakeology, like, I don't know anything about any of this stuff. And after my first son, I had done P90X, got into the best shape of my life, had never heard of Shakeology. Then I had my second son, and I was like, you know, like, she's talking about Shakeology. I don't really know what this is, but, you know, I like reached out to her, and I was like, hey, so what all are you doing? She's like, well, I'm coaching. Do you have any interest in coaching? I'm like, I have no interest in coaching at all. I'm like, but I think I'd like to join a challenge group. And I joined, and that night she had sent me some information in an email, just kind of like about the coaching opportunity. And I remember sitting drinking wine by myself and just feeling miserable. And I started going into the training, and I ended up staying up almost the entire night, had to work the next day, just like diving into the training. And what I noticed through the whole like beginning of it is that I just got completely passionate and in love with these women. And they were like me, they were real, and they were working moms, or they were stay-at-home moms. They were busy as all get up, just like me. They seemed so positive and so secure. Yet I would hear their stories through these trainings and be like, wow, like they weren't always like this. Like I want to be like that. Like it gave me a goal of like a place to work for. And, you know, I had no idea what this was all about, like at all. Like I just thought that it was a way to, you know, I kind of was confused about, you know, I was like a pyramid scheme, you know, I know we touched on that, but then like, you know, I learned more that it was, you know, a different type of a deal. I was just so confused. And, you know, but I just kept kind of, you know, working on myself and just really diving into the training. And I just became more and more in love with the community. And, you know, what's so neat about it is that like Stacey was saying earlier, I never would have met anybody except for my coach if it wasn't for this opportunity. And, you know, we just started, you know, you start meeting people, and what you learn is that a lot of the people that you're meeting are just like you. It's like you'll sit there and we're all, you know, we're just so similar, and we have similar values and goals and morals. And, you know, it's amazing. Like your whole, you know, your vibe attracts your tribe. It's like, it's true. And so, you know, the more people that I meet, we just become, you know, more, you know, intrigued with each other. And I love following people's families on social media. Like I love like when people have birthdays and, you know, anniversaries, and it's like these people have become, you know, part of my family too, you know. And you know, the friendships that I've built through this is pretty amazing. We went to a leadership retreat last October, and that's like what really made me, like I was like, you know, really, I was coaching, and I was, you know, I went up a rank, and I still had no idea what I was doing. Like I still sometimes I'm like, you know, I feel like I've got a lot to learn. But when I went to that leadership retreat last October, it like set the deal. Like I was like, this is real. Like this is something that I want to do for a long time. And, you know, I've been kind of, you know, coming, you know, going and dabbing in a little bit here, whatever. Like, you know, my whole motto this whole entire time has kind of been like slow and steady. Well, all of a sudden, in this past like December, I was like, no, like I am miserable at my job. I want to like do this full time. Like I'm so excited about my life, and it literally makes me glow like when I coach. So I told my principal I had to go part-time next year. You know, it's just this opportunity can take you to places that you never thought it would. Like I never would have had this self-confidence to be able to do that a year ago. And so, you know, people just like wrap their arms around us. Like we, you know, we do these live videos together a lot. Like we're doing like online trainings at home, but you can grab a glass of wine or tea, and it's not stressful. And, you know, you can make a lot of money with this, a little money, again, what they said, like whatever you want, but that community is just kind of what brings you through. And the best part too is like that as a whole, we're bringing our families, you know, closer together, and we're working on our families as a whole. So it's not just about us as the coach, it's about our spouses, it's about our kids, and we're teaching a healthy lifestyle, and we're all kind of doing it in a huge movement forward. And that is just really what has just really taken me back. Like I'm just obsessed with it. I love it.
That's so awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. And you made a really good point about living somewhere that's kind of isolated, that's kind of like, we call it like it's in the sticks. You know what I mean? Like where there's not a lot around, not a lot of people around. And the thing about this is it doesn't matter where you live, okay? Because this business is extremely motivated by social media platforms, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, things like that, where you have the ability to reach hundreds of thousands of people at your fingertips if you are willing to put the effort in. I can tell you this. I can tell you that I truly believe that 95% of coaches have migrated to this opportunity because there was a missing piece. There was a little hole. There was something that needed a spark. There's a reason. There's a reason we're all here. Everybody's reason is different, but I believe that this opportunity has helped fill whatever hole anybody is feeling. I truly believe that. And the reason why I know that we are able to show up every single day on social media, and we are able to post about our most personal skeletons and our families and show how we live our lives, is because we believe. And we know what this opportunity has done for us, and we know what it can do for you. And I've been questioned so many times, how do you post that on social media? Or how do you, how are you so involved in it? How? Because I know what it's done for me, and I know what it can do for you. And knowing that I go to sleep at night and I put my head on the pillow and I know that my heart and soul is in the right place and I'm posting for the right reasons makes it that much easier. This is the furthest thing from sales, okay? But you certainly earn money doing so. We are leaders, we share, we don't sell. So you need to get that word out of your mind completely, okay? Once you get a gist of this community and these friendships and how women really don't have to be competitive and catty. And just because one woman is succeeding doesn't mean she clipped your wings off, okay? Because we fly together. And that's the beauty of all of this. I have never been in I've never experienced anything quite like our community before in my entire life. And what's nice is you're always pushed to be better. You're always pushed to do more, to be stronger, to be your absolute best self. And your best version of you can be different than the next person, and that's okay. This is your journey that you're sharing, and you have to remember that. So I am going to end the call by telling you this. We are looking to add to our team. We have exclusive and extensive coach training. We are here for you. You are never alone. You will never have to run a challenge group alone if you don't want to. I can tell you there's always someone to answer a question for you. You will never wait more than about 60 seconds for an answer from somebody, one of us, okay? And I know that the coach who invited you to this webinar, I am sure has something to talk to you about, maybe something special for joining up. We are looking to add to our newest coach training. So why don't you do something good for yourself? Because, listen, there's nothing. What's going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to lose 10 pounds? I don't know. You're going to be surrounded by positive energy. That really sucks, doesn't it? So on that note, unless any of the ladies would like to say something, I'd like to personally thank you for joining us this evening. We would love to hear from you. Our goal in life is truly to inspire women to greatness. And together we are better. So remember that. And that's about it for, I just hope everyone has a great night. Thanks for coming.